What up? It's about the Liby
Okay.
Monitoring Platform, and welcome to another episode of Contrast Podcast. Me, I'm a. Okay, she said I shouldn't say it online. My amazing
Yes.
co-host. Me, I'm my amazing co-host, Eta. Okay. Um,
Mm,
Today, before we jump to the topic, I just want us to talk about how our days have been. Okay, Eta, how have your day been?
mm. My day, I don't know. It has just been same.
Nothing new.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has just been me getting up, exercising, taking breakfast,
Hmm.
walking.
Hmm.
That's it.
Bougie ass life. You wake up, you exercise, take a walk. Bougie ass life.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know. I don't have a response for that.
You're living your best life.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm just living my best life. And this
Yeah.
morning I was watching a funny I'll say a series. Yeah, I think it's a series
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, title.
Very funny. I was laughing and crying. It was just my morning has just been so good.
What
Yeah.
was the title? Maybe I'll watch it because that's what keeps me going. Comedy. Comedy is
Let
a.
me see.
GK, what's up? GK in the
Hey,
building.
GK in the building.
Yeah, what's up? What's
Hey,
up?
GK,
Everybody's in good
welcome.
spirits today. Okay, the vibe today is amazing. So,
Yeah.
what's the title of it? Maybe after this, I can binge watch it.
um what something universe of Ashley Garcia. So if you just so
Hmm.
universe of Ashley Garcia. So actually I don't even know if you like it because it's like this kind of it has a Disney Channel vibe.
Nah, I
You probably
pass.
not like it.
Nah,
Yeah.
I pass. Mm-mm.
Exactly. Yes. When I watch it, it takes me back to those days when I was really addicted to Disney Channel and the humor there.
I
It's
like
like
watching this black American comedy, like this kind of
mm,
movies. Like you see, everybody hates Chris, Martin,
mm-hmm,
the Fresh Prince, the Wayne brothers,
mm,
Marlon.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the kind of shows. Like if you want to watch movies, you have movies like Shaft. You have movies like yeah, movies that have this black humor in it, not
Mm-hmm.
cliche or Disney humor in it. Like yeah, I don't
I
like
like
those. I
I
like
like all humor.
I like dark
Any
humor. I
humor.
like dark humor. That's why I watch a lot of stand-up comedy too.
Oh,
I watch a
okay.
lot of it. Yeah.
That means you don't like Trevor Noah?
No, I like Trevor. Come on. But
Because Trevor Noah doesn't have dark humor. He has more of a
oh, have you watched
yeah,
his
it's not
stand-up?
dark. Yeah, I think I watched all of his stand up.
So you want to tell me he doesn't have some kind of humor in it that may offend some people?
Okay, offensive humor, yeah, probably.
Yeah, dark humor,
Mm.
offensive humor. Dark humor. I'm not talking about somebody sliding or killing somebody and they find it funny. No, I'm talking about humor that a joke, like the kind of expression that always go, a joke is not always funny when it is directed towards you or when it's talking about you.
Mm.
That's the kind of thing I like to see. Like when they're making fun of that person, this person this way will be laughing a lot until it's their turn. Like that's how I just like comedy to be. Like they're talking about Mexicans and blacks are laughing,
Mm.
Caucasians are laughing, then they turn out to white people. Woo! See, they are pissed off, and Mexicans are laughing, blacks are laughing. That's just how it is. Like the whole world is a circus. Okay,
Mm.
so today we'll be talking about how producers and DJs succeed in the industry because those are guys who contribute a lot to the industry, but most of their work is always like charity or helping your own. Maybe their gain is that they are helping their own or the small wage they give them for the small work they do. You know?
Mm.
Yeah. So I know somebody like GK, you always have detail like insight on so many topics.
Yep.
So we are hoping you have something to say because I'm lock and loaded today. So this topic just came to my mind when I was trying to create this live stream. The topic just came to my mind and I was like, you know what? DJ just asked me yesterday how can he work as a DJ, but how can he make money or succeed as a DJ? And I was just like,
Mm.
producers to go through the same thing. Like, I believe so many producers face the same conflict, the same dilemmas, the same confusion. They want to
Mm.
charge for production, charge for that's a great thing to do. Okay, don't get me wrong, that's a great thing to do to have a wage, to have a price standard, like how you charge people
Mm.
to produce, especially when you have some sort of leverage in the industry, some sort of name, some kind of reputation in the industry. Yeah, you have to have a price standard, like a wage that guys will pay you to record or produce at your place or let you work
Mm.
on their song. But like recording should have like studio time should have its price, its wage. Recording should have its wage. If you're mixing somebody else's song that was sent to you recorded by another producer, your mixing should have its price. Then mastering should have its price. That's for
Mm.
producers though. Some producers know how to do all that, to do all those things, but you should have your price. Okay, sometimes it's always great to work for free, but this wage thing is not what I'm we are here to talk about, because I think it's just basic.
Mm.
Those things don't actually, the wages are not even effective that much. We are talking about things
Yeah.
that people can't escape. Those are the kind of
Uh-huh.
strategies I want you guys to use. Things that people can't
Yeah,
escape.
I want to talk about something before we dive into that, right? Because
Yeah.
there's this press release and a lot of people are talking about it online. So I want us to just touch on it before we get to our main topic. So
Okay.
you know the Ministry of Arts and Culture has passed this law that every, let me say, if it's acting, they should have just one organization. Music, they should have just one organization, which will be recognized by the government, which is going to lead to the cancellation of organization like CF. Cameroon Film Industry (CFI) and
Mm-hmm.
other sub organizations under the film industry.
Yep.
So a lot of people are mad about it. I think even Pete Bakadi has tweeted about it. And about somebody, I think he's somebody in the acting world. He has also tweeted about it. The actors have had a press conference where they called the press and they're talking about like why they are mad about it. And so if they cancel all of this, like the Cameroon film industry is going to be under, I've forgotten the name, but it's a French
Oh
abbreviation.
boy.
Yes. So all of them have to work according to that French film organization. So a lot of them are really mad about it. So like I want to know like what's your take on it? Because for me, I'm looking at it from a point of view of if there is one thing, like if they have one organization,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be better because we're talking about unity here, right? But
Yeah.
also there's also the fear of the if the English side merges with the French organization, then the English voice
We
is going to
swallowed.
kind of be
Yeah,
silenced.
yeah,
Yes,
that's a fact.
silence in
That's
the
not
whole
like you
thing.
cannot do.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's what will happen if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eric, what's
Yeah.
up? Um,
Hey,
yeah, you
long
saw the
time.
topic today. We just want to talk about a prevalent topic in Cameroon before we jump into the topic of the video. Okay, like they are
Mm.
canceling movie. They say music and movie industry, right?
Anyway, the
Or
thing is,
just the movie
just say each segment of the
of the
entertainment
entertainment
industry have
industry
to
should fall
have
under one.
one has to have one organization, yeah, recognized by the government.
Okay, this topic is just going to create room for conspiracy theory. Like
Mm.
somebody like me is just creating room for conspiracy theory, because what I want to say now, maybe that may not be what will exist or what is existing, but what I
Mm.
think is the man is trying to sink his hand into an industry that he believes is about to be lucrative.
Mm.
When I talk
Mm-hmm.
about the man, I'm talking about the guy who seizes everything, the guy who benefits, who has the bigger share in everything happening in Cameroon. He
Mm.
wants to get his hand in an industry, and he wants to have a grasp and control of that industry.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand is good, okay? On one hand is good because it identifies like Nollywood, and I mean it gives Cameroon an
Yeah,
identity like Nollywood,
exactly,
you know?
exactly.
But it will be controlled by the man,
Mm-hmm.
which mean the rules, the standards, like the man who set the rules, like who to let in, who to keep out, who he deems worthy, who he deems professional enough, to give
Mm-hmm.
them access to certain places. Like that's one of the disadvantages of it. I hate anything, like I
Yeah.
just hate anything in Cameroon that is offered by the government, because if they offer it, it means they've sat behind, and the government never offers any, like give anything to the public with good intention. It has never been that way in Cameroon. I've never seen it that way in Cameroon.
And if, for me, I'm looking at it like it's true that okay, if the English side merges with the French side, this entertainment scenes, the English are going to be swallowed. But also, I look at it in the point of view of, let me say, if the government wants to give some support, they should know that we are contacting this specific organization
Mm-hmm.
for the film. We are contacting this specific organization. The film the entertainment, only in the film industry we have Cameroon film industry, we have Collywood, there are
Yeah.
all kind of organizations just under that very small film industry, which is just in Boya. There are several organizations there. Yes,
Yeah.
just in Boya, there are several organizations.
Yeah.
So for me, sometimes I feel like it's crazy. Like we are talking about yesterday about the division in the film industry.
Yeah.
So each of these camps, they have their own organizations that they adhere to each of these camps. So it's kind of confusing for the Ministry of Arts and Culture to know like which people should I talk to if it's concerning the film industry, which people should I talk to. Like you don't want to leave anybody out, but if it's under one group, then it's easier. So maybe I'm thinking, if okay, let's say two different groups or three different groups, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, but also they are too much.
The thing about this whole thing is we have we are lazy. That's what has caused the
Mm-hmm.
government to do what it is doing right now, because Hollywood is not
Mm,
owned by the American government. Nollywood is not owned by the
mm-hmm.
Nigerian government. Even the Ghanaian movie
Mm-hmm.
industry is not owned by the Ghanaian government. But this
Mm-hmm.
thing has been happening for so long that artists and actors have been pestering the Ministry of Culture to give them support, to assist them to do something
Mm,
that has just made them come up with what they came up with right now.
mm,
Hollywood is a company made by people who have a common goal, a common interest.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when they create that industry, when they create that thing, they put their own rules within it and they create a circle like the upper echelons. Those are the guys, like the business guys that run Hollywood. They don't act,
Mm,
but they can own
mm,
movie studios, they can own production houses, they own all those things. Then when they see that you're up to standard, like you have the budget, the capital to hang around them, they let you on the table, like they bring them on the table.
mm,
So Hollywood is just like a group of old white men who just sit around. I just say old white men because I know that's who they are. It's just recently that
mm,
Tyler Perry has a studio. That's the first black man that owns a
mm,
studio. You know, even Stan Lee don't even own a studio, but he produces. But for most of
mm,
these big, like Columbia can call him to produce, Universal can call him to produce. You know, Sony Pictures can call him to produce, but he's just a dope ass producer. So what
mm,
I'm just saying is, the Ministry of Culture has realized that these guys want them to do something. Even it goes right to music. Okay, a decree, like even when these companies like government of Nigeria say they pass that thing, like you don't have to play Nigerian music. I'm talking about the music side. You don't have to play more foreign music in the clubs and all that. You know,
mm,
when you think about how all these industries started, the government, the state
mm,
doesn't have a role, like doesn't control that sector, doesn't control the movie sector,
mm,
but since he has to do with the culture of that country, or since he has to do with the image, because the products that they produce there, they produce stories and movies that reflect the reality in that region, so they may control how or what the people they are trying to feed, the education these movies are trying to pass out. They can just regulate it. That's just all they do. They can say, okay, you are teaching our kids that, okay, the robbery is bad, this is bad, this kind of movies. That's why I have this
mm,
syndication, like the syndicate movies, like goes through screening and all that. But the government, that's just all he does. He doesn't
mm,
fund any movie or pay any artist. He doesn't pay any movie studio. He doesn't fund any movie studio. He doesn't have any decree that he will pass and say, okay, Hollywood, from now on, we just want to see movies that have just blacks in it. If not, Hollywood have done
mm,
that a long time ago, like have prevalent black
mm,
leads and black producers, just or women producers and all that. You know, the government doesn't have any right, any hand in it. It's just like businessmen. A man owns a business, like business. A government does not have. The only thing a government can collect from all those things are just their taxes.
mm,
That's how they should treat the industry, like the music and the movie industry in Cameroon. But they are getting what they are getting now is they are getting what they are getting now because every time they go online and say the government does not support artists, musicians, the government does not support actors, the government does not support the
mm,
entertainment industry. It's not their job to do it. So they just feel like, okay, since you guys want us to support it, we'll create a structure that makes us control it. And that way,
mm,
when they control it, they control everything about it. They control the
mm.
financing, they will control the production of movies, they will even dictate the kind of movies that go out. They'll even dictate the kind of
Yeah.
movies that go to theaters or go to on TV, or the kind of actors they want to see, or who is like the lead. You know, the government is always greedy. The government will always work with what belief will bring them profit or what they think
Mm,
is right by them. So I'm just saying, it's just like an old man sitting home and a kid always come and say, um, "Daddy, daddy, I want to play game. Daddy, I want to play game. Daddy, I want to play game. Daddy, I want to play game." Okay, the day the old man will decide that he wants to play, he'll pick the game he wants to play. Not that he'll come and play the regular games you always play with your friends. He will decide the game he wants to play, and you may end up not liking to play the game again with him just because he has made it not fun again for you.
Yeah, but like what Pete Bakali said, he was like the government that he feels like first of all, he was like the law should be thrown in the dustbin because the
Yeah,
government
I
has
don't.
not really,
No,
the
the
government has
point
not
is
really
they should
put
not even
their
acknowledge. I will not acknowledge it if I were in Cameroon. I will
yeah.
not even acknowledge or fall under that group. But but the idea of Cameroon having one name or one
Mm,
organization, I agree with that
exactly. It will not
idea.
be a bad idea.
I
Yeah.
agree with the idea, but just because it is the government giving it, it means that that decree is coming with rules behind it. That
Mm,
what you guys are seeing are just the cover photo. The track list is behind. When you turn it, you see the track list. you know, so they already have rules that govern that whole industry that they want to create.
mm,
Yeah, so that seems fishy to me. So I don't like it. So if I'm the one, I will not be part of it,
yeah.
but I'll keep producing movies. Just be like these independent movie makers. Like even in Hollywood, you still have small studios that
Mm,
have not yet broken into Hollywood, but they still have movies that sell a lot. Then when you get to the Hollywood level, that's when you start getting funding from these big companies and big production houses. Okay. Yeah, but you can still have independent movie houses that get all this. Yeah. So that's just my own take on it. My own take on it is
yeah.
they should ignore that shit. If you decide, you guys should just sit down and decide to come up with a name for the industry. That's what you guys need to
Mm,
do. Publicize it. Everybody agree that these are named, like every product you want to do. You say this is a this movie. This is a this company or this movie. Okay, this movie come from this, represents this.
mm.
Okay, yeah. But as for rules in that place, Hollywood don't have any rules. The people who created Hollywood, they make their rules, and those are the businessmen, not the government. So the rules change at any time in Hollywood. It changed based on the climate, based on the
Yeah.
yeah. You see. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's just all I can say about that. I don't. I
So
like the
we
idea
can go
of
back
one.
to our topic.
Yeah, I like the idea of one industry, of one identity. But
Yeah, for me that's my own thing. I'm like,
yeah,
for me, I don't really have an issue with
yeah. But the
them
person who
coming
presented
together
it,
because there are so many.
I don't trust them. That's just
Yeah.
all I can say. Okay, let's go back to our topic. Okay, so how can producers and DJs make money? Code Play Records in the building. Sorry, we were
Eh,
talking and we forgot and we just like we ignored what you guys were saying. Not like we ignored, but it's a topic that will affect the future of the entertainment industry. That topic, you know, because the government doesn't take anything serious. If they decide to take this one serious, it will mess things up. It will fuck a lot of shit up.
Anyway, I'm like, we are always saying the government should interfere and be
To
part of the
help,
entertainment
yeah.
industry.
Now they have done it. You
Now they
guys are
are the
complaining.
one they
Shit.
want to help.
It's almost like
Crazy.
how they say fans want artists to do packaging when the package is actually they are faking.
Fake.
Oh boy,
It's
Cameroon, we have
crazy.
a problem.
Anyway. Nah, it's just simple that's not the help that we're looking for. That's what Pete Bakani
They,
said. Like that was not the help
the
we
everybody
wanted.
wanted a handout from the government. Let's just say,
Yeah.
let them just say they wanted handout. They wanted financial support, and that's not the
Exactly.
government's
That was
job
it.
to give finance a movie. If the government wants a movie or a documentary produced by for the country, they pay a studio to produce it. It's not the government's job to financially support artists or creators. No, it's your intellectual
Yeah.
property. You have the right to control it or find your funding. If the government decide or if the government one of your funders, good, you're lucky. But they should stop going on media, on places saying the government does not support, the Ministry of Culture ignores us. It's not their job. Their job is just to protect the culture and the kind of image you guys give to the culture. That's their job.
Yeah, but other countries do so though. Like I don't know who I was talking to, but the person mentioned this about South Africa. I've forgotten who mentioned it. That
Yeah.
in South Africa, the government automatically sponsors 40% of all the movies being produced. Forty
No.
percent of all the movies being produced. Okay, I think yeah, I know who said it's Wax Day. Wax Day. I think it was Wax Day who said it that the
That
movies
is
being
a
produced
big
forty
lie.
percent. Mm-hmm. It's a lie.
Wax. That's a very big lie. That is a very,
Okay.
very, 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 very big lie. So come and prove me wrong.
Really?
That is a big lie. The
No,
gov-
you have just said it's a lie, but how do you know? Like he was coming with his own facts, like he has spoken to people in South Africa. You like where is your own point of view coming from?
my own point of view is who produced a movie. Like first of all, you find the studio, okay? Who wrote the
Mm,
script, okay? The funding comes about when a company, because the government can only invest in a movie when they see that that movie is a business venture. Like the profit coming from that movie, okay, they are sharing the
mm,
profit with the guy who made it. It's just like a businessman investing on a project that he likes.
mm.
The government cannot invest on every movie 40%. I can say some movies, but not 40%.
That's what he was
It
saying. That
can never,
every
hey,
movie automatically 40% is sponsored by the government.
yeah, it can never be 40%. Let's say some movies, okay? Because some
Mm,
movies may reach the government, okay, and may require the government or tell the government, okay, this movie, okay, something like Mr. Bones. They say, okay,
mm,
we have Western artists who want to come and collaborate with us, okay, to produce a movie talking about our wildlife and all these things. But so I just believe even Mr. Bones, Hollywood produced it. It's a Hollywood studio that has it. I think it's, I'll look for that studio. I think it's Paramount Pictures, something like that. It's a Hollywood company
mm,
that produced that
mm,
movie. So it was funded by the company, that movie studio.
mm.
Hello, Chi Greg. What's up? It was
Hey, welcome.
sponsored by that studio. So even
Mm,
most movies in South Africa, like unless he's talking about these traditional movies, some of them can be sponsored by the government when they approach the government, telling him the kind of message you want to pass through. I
mm.
can I, I can see that. Or some of these Mandela movies. I can see that. But the rest of them, no fucking way.
Yeah, but I'm just like, if the government wants to start sponsoring movies in Cameroon, it would definitely be movies from entertainment houses that are registered under the organization the government creates. So, for example, you have your own entertainment house, you want to be independent, then you're not going to get that help from the government. So, I'm like, I feel like the government is going to give an incentive which will encourage people to join that organization.
Chigga got started with that today. I wish what he
Hey,
has said.
that's what said. What have I done?
At least I'm not the one who said it.
What's up with let me see.
Ah,
Beauty like people. Only the way it that shine today.
Chigrek.
Eh?
I don't talk offline, no.
Where?
I don't go and talk
Where?
online. You don't tell me, say, man, no try talk online.
Anyway, thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm saying is, hey guys, hey,
Mm.
with the way movies and the entertainment industry is structured, there's no fucking way I can believe that thing that works there is saying 40% of movies in South Africa are being produced by the government, are sponsored by the government. There's no fucking way I can believe that.
40% of like of each movie, oh, like a movie,
The
if they,
funding,
their budget, yeah, the funding. So 40% of their funding of each movie comes from the government. That's what he was like saying. Yeah,
no,
that 40%.
it's a
Yeah.
lie.
Anyway.
It is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
He should come with titles, come with guys who took part in the movie. Like, even if he come with title, he'll come with just some that happened to. I've said the government can do it on some, but not
Mm,
40%. Even if it comes with title and some proof, it may be just the few or the rare cases that happen to benefit from that or happen to get that
mm,
support from the government. But
mm,
no, that is a lie.
mm.
There's no way I can believe that.
Why? Why do you feel so impossible? You feel the government doesn't have money to do that, or
No, they
what?
have the money to do it, but there's no reason to do it. The
There's no
government doesn't.
reason to.
There's no reason for them to sponsor every movie in South Africa. 40% of every movie in South Africa.
Mm,
Okay, just logically, let's just think like, why would the government sponsor a movie about some two guys robbing a store?
That will not be all about the movie, right? Probably the two guys were arrested at the end.
Hypothetically, that let's just say hypothetically, that's just the movie.
Yeah, so for me, first of all, like an entertainment industry doesn't just help the country. It help. I mean, sorry, it helps the country economically because it sells the country, right? It sells the country. If something like, for example, we have South African movies on Netflix, like they are
Yeah,
taking over Netflix, and Netflix has. I think there's Netflix South Africa. Yeah, there's Netflix South Africa, and I don't know, but I know that there are some series, South African series that are being sponsored by Netflix. So I know
yeah.
Netflix is really investing in the South African government. That's
Those
adding
are the
to the
kind of guys that
economy.
if you say they sponsor a movie, I will accept. You have Netflix, you have Amazon, you have Hulu, you have
Mm,
I think it's white screen, or is it something like
mm,
that? You have all those guys,
mm,
or Apple. I will accept that.
mm,
Okay, they sponsor
mm,
some movies, they pay for some movies.
mm,
Like
mm.
the government, what the fuck? No.
Yeah, anyway, like, because I have even seen, like, I was watching this thing, a Cal De Niro documentary, Cal De Niro, Sierra Leonean rapper, and he was in a meeting with the president and another rapper. Like, for example, we have like Jovi and Stanley Eno beefing, and the president holds a meeting with Jovi and Stanley Eno to tell them to reconcile because
But
he
in
was
Sierra
like,
Leone, there
I've seen the
it's not possible.
influence. Um,
It's Sierra
I'm like,
Leone.
he's like, I'm seeing the influence you guys are having on the youth, and because you guys are in different camps, the youths who are in different camps, and we want unity in our system. So the entertainment industry can have a lot of impact on the economy, on the government, on peace, and all those things. I can see why a government will want to influence the entertainment industry. For
It's the Roy
example,
comedy.
you see
What's
that
up?
there's a hi Elroy. So there's a reason why, like, a lot of black people are speaking up and saying we need more black people in movies. Asian people are saying we need Asian representation because they are feeling like if that's what you see on TV, that's what you portray on TV as beautiful, that's what you portray on TV as is the right way to be,
Yeah,
then kids will grow up looking that way or behaving that way, feel like they are abnormal.
yeah.
So that's just those are just examples to show that the entertainment industry has an impact on the way people think and feel about
That
themselves.
it
Even
now
has an
goes.
impact on the way people vote.
It now goes to
Even
what
has an impact
I
on the way
said
people
about
vote.
the Ministry of Culture's role is to regulate those
Mm,
kind of things. It's not about them sponsoring the movies. Why do you think Americans think Africa is a slump with kids moving with flies in their nostrils and hunger, like they're skinny with big heads? Why do you think Americans think about that when Africa comes to their mind? Why do you
mm.
think most white people
It's
think black
because of the
Americans are
way we are portrayed in movies.
exactly? So why do you think black Americans, the white Caucasians, just think black people may be gangbangers or they come from a neighborhood where they do drugs or all that thing? Because that's how they portray them in movies.
Movies.
That's how those guys who created Hollywood, those upper echelon, those, like I call them, all white men, because that's who they are.
Mm,
Those guys who have their standard of
mm-hmm,
life, who have the way they believe or the way they see people. That's how they portray them in movies. So the Ministry of Culture's role is to regulate or
mm,
to ban a kind of movie that comes out. Their job is not to sponsor the movie. You can spend millions to produce a movie, and when the movie comes out and it portrays a certain demographic the kind of way, the government has a right to ban that movie and the money goes to waste. That's the
mm-hmm,
government's job. That's the Ministry of
mm-hmm,
Culture's job, to regulate the
mm-hmm,
kind of imagery you portray or teach the kids or teach the
mm,
public or give the public, because TV is programming, movies programming. All those things are programming. When you watch those kind of things for so long, you have an impression based on the characters that you see. That's why sometimes you watch a movie and you
mm,
say, I relate to that guy. I be Scarface.
mm-hmm.
Or
True.
I'm this guy in Money Heist. This guy. You just choose your own character because you feel like you like the guy a lot and you think that that's how those kind of guys are. That's the job of the Ministry of Culture. That's the job of the government in the entertainment industry. It's not that the government will remove money and say, you know what, I don't like this movie. Take this money and react it this way. They let you use
Okay,
your
so the
money and
government
do
has
it.
the government has the right to ban organizations,
Yes,
right?
yeah, he has the right to
Okay,
regulate.
and they have done it, and they have done it. Yeah, okay, regulate like this
Yet,
number of organizations can exist, right? And they have done it, so is that right?
no,
Right.
no, it's not their right to ban organizations or regulate. What I'm saying is they have the right to regulate the kind of products those organizations produce. It's not banning the organizations, it's
Mm,
banning the products that comes out of
mm,
those organizations.
mm-hmm.
That's why you see people complaining about they want more black, more Asian, more this, and the government will say like, but it is true. If you guys keep putting whites in this movie and giving black people the job of cooks and all that, when all these kids growing up see blacks, you just believe that these guys are cooks. So no, stop it. Stop
Mm,
putting blacks in positions of power like presidents
yeah.
or all these places. You give them that impression. That's the job of the Ministry of Culture. The Ministry of Culture have no shit about how you
Mm,
produce your movie or how you fund it. They just have to see the final product and see what kind of imagery you're trying to teach anybody watching it. If they see that it is wrong, they have the
mm,
right to ban it. To ban it. Sorry. They have the right to
mm,
ban it.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they don't have any right to say they are closing Hollywood or create another segment of Hollywood.
Mm. Anyway, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's Cameroon.
Chi Greg also said something. Chi Greg has said the thing about South African government sponsoring movies is not true. So you see,
Okay.
they in SA government does like a 15% rebate. What? It's rebate, right?
Rebate of the company's expenditure. It can go up to 25 if you are eligible.
Eligible. You see, that it goes
Mm,
back to what I'm saying that it depends on the kind of movie you're producing. You see, if it's about the Zulu culture kind of movies and you pitch it to the government, that's why you say if you are what? Eligible. Because you pitch it
yeah,
to the government.
eligible.
But if you
Mm-hmm.
pitch it to them and it does not fit their standard or they don't like it, then you fund the movie yourself if you really want to see that
Mm,
project come to life.
mm-hmm.
So the government has
Yeah.
no reason to fund your movie.
Yeah. What does rebate mean?
That's what
Chigre,
I
what
don't
does
know.
rebate
Chigret,
mean?
Chigret. This will be science people, not the literature. We never
Right.
go to
No
school, so
rebate.
okay. Just tell us what rebate mean.
Rebate means.
We don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can run away from that topic now because that topic is
Yeah.
almost a long topic. We have talked about that topic for more than 30 minutes of the podcast episode already. Before we now jump into
Mm-hmm.
the topic of today. Sorry, guys. Okay, because I think this thing is a topic that contrast is for entertainment, by the way. So
Mm.
yeah, so we are talking about everything that we believe can fix the entertainment industry. And this
Yeah.
topic, I did not say the music. I did not say succeed in music. I said entertainment. So
Mm.
movie is also a part of entertainment. Okay. So let's go back to producers and DJs. How can they
Mm.
succeed? Ita, do you have any tip or anything you believe can make them succeed? Talk
These
as
are
a
all those
business
topics.
person. No, you should talk as a
Okay.
business person.
I have to
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
So producers and DJs.
Yeah.
Yesterday we touched on DJs a lot, so yeah, that's that.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Oh, for producers, so producers like those who make beats, right?
Yeah. No. Oh
Okay.
my
No,
disrespect.
producers. God. producers,
Disrespect.
producers is global. Like producers of what?
Oh my god. She said producers are those who make beats. Okay, is that all a producer does?
They are beat producers, right? They are beat producers. They are people who fund movies. They are music. So
Okay,
like
okay.
I don't
When
know.
you hear that this song was produced by, let me just say, Salatiel, what do you understand by that?
Probably the beat was made. He mastered the song. He merged the vocals, coached the person singing. Yeah, there's all that goes into play now.
Do
Oh,
you
that's
know?
not it.
Do you know somebody can become a producer of a song without even making a beat or touching any key?
I didn't know that. So how?
That's why I said disrespect. Because you just say producers are the beat
Really?
guys. You're like just the people who make beats. Like a producer, if you want to be a producer, you must make a beat. You must know how to make
Yeah.
beats.
What do producers do then?
Producers are guys who make a song like make ideas, turn ideas to songs,
Mm.
that make bring together the components and the people who actually have the skill to make that idea come to fruition, come to
Mm.
reality. The person like is a choir conductor, like
Mm-hmm.
in the studio. That's where a producer can be. So a producer can be somebody who does not even know how to play any instrument, who does not know how to make beats, but he has an ear for music and he
Mm.
knows what he wants to hear. So he can tell you, okay, play this chord like that. No, 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 like this, like this. Okay, voila, like that. Okay, line it up. You do this, play this chord, you play piano or drum. Okay, I like this one. Okay, put the bass down a little bit. He may not know how to do, but he knows how to assemble it. Then he listens to the song and say, this person's vocal work on it more than this person's vocal. You sing on it. When you sing, say, no, it won't work. This person come and rap. Okay, on this part, this person should rap. Okay, they should not sing here. A producer can be that kind of a person. A producer is
Mm.
That's a producer. It also goes to movies. Movie producers must not know how to direct. They must not know how to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
They movie producers. Some of them don't know anything about cameras.
Mm.
They don't. But
Mm-hmm.
a movie producer is somebody that makes sure the production of that movie, like the crew, the lighting, the actors are there in time, the director is there in time, like the funding is there, like everything, every piece of the puzzle that need the movie to come to light happens the way it's
Mm.
supposed to happen. That's a producer.
Mm.
He
Yeah.
works hand in hand with the director. So those are producers.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to producers and DJs. Okay, back to producers and DJs. So how? Okay, about okay, Chi Grace, and they. You see what I'm talking about? He said they do it mostly for documentaries. You see what I
Mm.
said when they want to do those kind of
Documentaries
Mandela
about their
movies.
cultures.
You see, right? That's why I say government can even sponsor the kind of Mandela movies. Yeah, I don't see any reason. Wax Day, come on, man, stop capping. I don't know how he cap about that kind of
Is
movie.
that what he said?
No, that's big cap,
Yeah.
man. That's cap.
Okay.
So yeah, things that have to do about their culture, and that's what Ministry of Culture also can do. They can sponsor movies that portray the culture, but movies like that Bad Angels that used to go on CRTV, I don't see any reason why the government will want to sponsor that kind of a movie.
Mm.
It has nothing to do with the Cameroon culture. It's just talking about
Mm-hmm.
somebody's family.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason, and that's a great series, by the way. That Bad Angels, I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, producers, let's go now to. We talked yesterday about DJs. Let me just give a dry run for the guys who were not here yesterday, for the guys who never get to. Or maybe you've watched the video.
Rewatch.
Yeah, you just go and
Mm-hmm.
rewatch it because I don't think we'll have to go over it again. But let's go now to producers. How can producers succeed in the industry? Because what producers need to do is similar to what DJs need to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But as a producer, when you advance, when you go up, same with DJs. When you advance, when your notoriety improves, when your fame or your cloud improves, when your reputation improves, like grows,
Mm.
your wage also needs to grow. Same like artists and everybody in the industry, like you're part of the entertainment industry. So your growth, your wage should reflect your level, your growth. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when the higher you go, the higher your wage. But before you get to that
Mm-hmm.
point, and must not necessarily be that the higher you go, the higher your wage. Because sometimes the higher your wage, smaller the clients you get. See? Sometimes the higher your wage, the smaller the clients you get. So sometimes you may have to re-strategize when you get too big. You may have to re-strategize and say, okay, I know at this point if I have to tax somebody, this is what I'll tax them. But if I tax them, maybe they may not have the money to pay, or maybe they may not come back. So what should I
Mm.
do? You just say, okay, but let's just do a contract on every project that you produce for them,
Mm-hmm.
or every beat you make. You just give like your beats are worth this amount. If you're using my beat, just know I own this percentage of that song.
Mm-hmm.
If I produce the song, just know I have this extra percentage on the song. So if the song goes on stream, the percentage of the sales from that stream come to you with time. The shows, the money come to you with time. You know. Then leverage also the relationship you have with those guys. Okay, to produce a project like an album. You
Mhm.
can tell a producer, okay, let's work song for song. It's almost like artists collaborating. You can say, okay, you do a song for me, I do a song for you. One song, like when we get into the studio, we produce two songs, one
Mhm.
for you, one for me.
Mhm.
Okay, that one is just for producers. Now we are talking about producers. One for you,
Mhm.
one for me goes also to movies, like producers in general. Everything I'm talking right now, you can apply it to both sides, both movies and music, because producers mean it's your job to make that project come to fruition. So when the project comes to fruition, you should own a percentage of it. You should not always go for your wage. Some people go for their wage because they don't have the patience or the time to keep tracking the percentage they need to collect from this person along the line. Some just go for their wages that when they get their money, they bounce and they forget about it. If the movie flops, it flops.
Mhm.
If it makes so much money, it makes it. But they go
Mhm.
for their wage. Okay? Then, producers now, you go to, this one applies to movie producers. Okay?
Mhm.
You have to be productive. Like, you have to deliver. What do I mean? Even if you suck at directing, even if your movies are whack and awful, just the fact that you always give a deadline and produce that movie at that deadline because you always deliver,
Mhm.
you all keep getting clients because you are efficient. And with time, when you work, you will improve with time, even though your quality is not what it is. That's why you see some directors in Hollywood, you see some guys in Hollywood keep getting movies, they keep getting jobs. But when you watch their final movies, you ask yourself, what kind of a fucked up movie is this? Like shit. But every time you hear that a big studio is hiring them for a movie. Every time you hear that a big studio is hiring them for a movie, it's because when they say this movie is coming out this day, the movie comes out that day. Okay, it's because they are effective, they are productive, they deliver. When they say they are going to
Mhm.
do it, they deliver. Okay,
Mhm.
and they just believe that one day he will produce one of those his whack movies that will blow up. So even if you're a professional and you say no, you want to do your job, you want to take your time and do your job, sometimes it scares some clients, or some clients who just want to release projects, who just want to bomb, like saturate the market with movies or music. Sometimes they will avoid you, and that's potential clients you're losing.
Mhm.
So efficiency sometimes is important when you have your niche market, when you have a certain group of people who want that aspect of you, and productivity too. You need to put that into consideration. Like the Migos. There's one time. Have you listened to the Migos albums? You have a lot
Never.
of throwaway songs in them. Like they just have so many songs in them that you just ask yourself, but why? How the fuck did the song make the album? But they have some dope songs in them though. It's because they have producer. Migos want to saturate the market. They always want to have a song out at one any moment in time.
Mhm.
They always deliver. You see?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one thing. That's also one thing that the producers need to take into consideration. You must always be productive. You have to be productive. You have to deliver. Okay, you have to work on your deadline. Then every product you produce, don't always feel like your way should be the way to go, or you should take the artists the way they come.
Mm.
How about that? Just weigh them. If it is somebody who wants to pay the wage, because you cannot force somebody to give you a stake of their project if they don't want to give you a stake in their project. You see?
Mhm.
Because some people just know that, okay, if I give you a stake in this project and I'm a very big artist and I'll have to perform all this money, make all this thing all this time, some greedy person will say they don't want to pay it and they tell me your bill and let me pay and get over it. Some artists, some people will say that. So you should have your
Mhm.
wage, and but just know, for guys who are open to suggestions, the wage of equity, like of signing that partnership with them on every record you produce, is the best way to go. Even if you believe you're
Mm.
working for free, okay, even if you just think you're working for free, that's the best way to go to keep making money along the line. Then when you produce, and every artist you produce for, if you produce for an artist free, produce two songs.
Mm.
Don't do one for them, and one that just have, if it's a singer, you just produce his song, then you just have a beat of yours that he has like his vocals on it, like a hook, and you just
Mhm.
keep it in your stash. Maybe someday some artist will just come that wanted to record a song with that guy someday, and they'll just come and meet that verse with that hook on it. You know, they'll just say, "Hey, I've been wanting to sing with this guy. How can I get the song? The hook is there, the verse is there already. All you just have to do is call the guy and tell him." I want to cash in that favor. I want to cash in that check. And they say, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
boom. If it is a big artist, boom, you're gone. So you should
Mm-hmm.
always do favors for bigger artists like the guys you work with, so that you always have. Yeah, price always affect value. Chi Greg, price affect value, because he's also saying, I think producers should also have like a price list. And yeah, before we started, I said something like you should have a price for studio session time, price for recording, price for mixing, price for mastering. You should have each of those things should have their price. It's like K Mr. K. K Mr. K, there are so many songs in Cameroon that are produced by so many people, but when the song wants to end, you hear K Mr. K mix. He masters it. The K, the one half of rhythms.
Yeah.
Like so many songs in Cameroon, he masters them.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a pro when it comes to mastering. That's why most guys run to him when it comes to mastering. So mastering has a price. Okay, you need to have a price. And the most tedious part of a song is mixing the song. For anybody that does not produce, if you don't know, okay, because I do, mixing a song, that's the work. That's the most tedious part of music production. If your mixing is messed up, just know the whole song is messed up. If your mixing does sound right, the mastering would never sound right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just the whole thing. That's just one thing. So let me continue. Say, and they should stick to it. Okay, they should have a price list and they should stick to it. You go here, say beat maker make beat, sell them for how much? For some peri for 5K. Maybe that's his wage, that's his price, the level where he's at right now. That may sell out fast, it may sell out quick. Give him quick cash, quick money. Then do someone for 50K. Yeah, it's been on the artist, because the guy, maybe the kid, he believes that the kid, it depends on his relationship with the artist, like the kid. He may be giving that kid the beat for 5K, okay? Because he believe sometimes they sell the beat based on the amount of time they spend on perfecting that beat.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the 5K beat just took a couple of minutes to make, you know, but the 50K beats took a lot of parties to make that beat come to life. Like he called a big
Yeah.
guitarist, he called a drum player, he called this person to come and make that beat as perfect as it is. But sometimes he can even make the beat by himself. But just
Mm.
because of the artist coming there, the level of the artist, you just tell the guy, okay, I'm selling this beat for 50K. If you don't want to sign equity, some of these beats that they sell for 50K are those guys whom they believe, if I sign like a percentage deal on this song with this guy, I'll make more. So they don't want to give the percentage, so they just prefer to charge them 50K
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
for.
but for me, I'm like, I feel like you should stick to your price and always maintain your quality, because, for example, let me just take an example of Ken Steven when he produces a video, which you see like this is probably a low budget video, so he was trying to make some compromises,
Yeah.
and so he didn't really live up to his standard. It's not the artist that people talk about,
They
it's
talk
Ken
about him.
Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, hey, what happened? Why did you miss? So it's like you're diminishing your reputation. So for me, if you're a producer and you say, okay, because you give me 5,000, I'll produce any kind of thing. Then I hear some kind of whack beat. Then I'm hearing Master KG, and I'm like, sorry, K Master K, sorry,
Yeah.
I hear K Master K. I'll be like, what is happening? I thought this guy was good. So I have an issue with that compromise. Yeah.
Or sometimes I just believe like is the kid may, it depends on their personal relationship with the artist sometimes. But I know if you sell a beat for 5,000, it can never sound like the beat for 50K. That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
Except you
fact.
tell the person you sell the beat and you remove your name from it. You're like,
Yeah, your
okay, I don't want
trademark
my
from
name
it.
to be associated. Yes, just go your beats. Do whatever you want to do.
Sometimes, okay, sometimes these artists sell this kind of beats for this kind of prices just because they want to get their name out there. The beats can be dope, but they just sell these beats for
Mm,
this price because they want to get their products out there to market themselves. Sometimes like a marketing strategy
mm,
to get more people to listen to what
yeah.
they can actually do to come back. For example, this guy, the guy who produced the song, the beats for Panda, Designer's Panda. Designer
Mm,
bought that beat online for $200, but the song ended up
mm,
making over $50 million. But the guy
mm-hmm.
got mad and told the designer that he wants his money. You know that he wants is that he want designer to pay him more. Designer said, "What the fuck? I paid the money you put on your website that you were selling the beat for.
Exactly.
So, what do you want? You know." Sometimes they just do it to get their name out there. And sometimes when you get your name out there, the beat that actually gets your name out there may be your hardest beat in the world, like ever. You may not be able to replicate that success, but you may end up getting clients that will constantly come to you. Like, yeah, but to replicate that amount, that level of success, you may not, but it will increase the influx of clients that come to your studio or come to you for work.
Yeah, I understand you doing that in the beginning when you're still trying to kickstart your career.
Mm-hmm.
But once you've already made a name for yourself and people know that this is what you deliver and you still keep on doing that, it's like your quality is not steady. It means if I'm going to Ken Steven, I'm like, okay, sometimes he delivers, sometimes he does not. But if I'm going to him and knowing that all the times he delivers, I'm ready to pay whatever because I know he will definitely deliver. So when you get to a certain level, I think you need to stop doing the compromise or whatever.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, like Chief Greg also, like he said that the price strongly affect the quality. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it also
Mm,
goes to the thing that yeah you may. So that's how producers and DJs, like we talked about DJs yesterday, because DJs and producers, I see them, they're like similar, because some DJs, because they work with the crowd, they work with the public directly, they understand how music impact the public, so they
mm,
have a better like. Fish was an animator, like a DJ. That's why you see his songs work, because he understands how people react to music.
mm,
He understands the feeling. He has been working for so many clubs as like animator, like a Talaku person. Boom Yang TV, what's up? You're late today. Okay, Tiaka.
yeah.
No, I keep fucking that shit up. Yeah, you're late today. So what's up? So Fish, like it also depends, like DJs, like producers, they are almost similar, you know. There are some producers who have songs just because of the personal relationship they have with artists that they bring to the club, and the personal relationship they have with producers, they have songs. Some producers, some DJs actually produce. Some producers are actually DJs. So
Yeah.
that career is intertwined. That's why I had to use DJs and producers. Okay. Uh, yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have for this topic today. If anybody has anything to say, okay. Tiaka said he was in school.
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
anyway, I wanted to touch on the fact that you have a lot of these producers who, when they decide to be musicians, they don't become as
They don't.
successful as,
Yeah.
yeah. So mindful of the fact that, like you mentioned, fish, and you said like these people know what sells. Why don't they make that for themselves to have the hits?
Mm, okay. This one thing. Before a producer makes a beat, they already have a concept in their head.
Mm,
They already have a feeling in their head when they are making the beat.
mm,
Okay. So if in case they make that beat and somebody hears that beat and said, "Whoa, I like that beat," maybe the beat connected to that person in another way, and when they give the person to sing on it, maybe that person's idea on that concept you had will work better.
mm,
You know, music at one, sometimes with music it goes with one, the person actually singing on the beat, and the
mm-hmm,
person's abili- ability to properly market what he just put on that beat.
mm-hmm,
Some of these producers, they are good. They can produce an amazing song with the marketing and shit.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. The reason I'm talking about Fish is about Fish on cases. If you see Fish perform, Fish is somebody that when you see him perform, you know, okay, this is somebody that does Atalako.
mm,
He's so energetic. He knows how when you're among people, if you go on stage, like you just hold a mic, you stand there, and you're doing in a club.
mm,
Yeah, that's why Fish perform in clubs. Even when he goes to a big stage, you see him performing as if he's dancing among people in a club. You
mm-hmm,
see, that's also what he needs to work on. Like a big
mm,
stage is different from a club. He's great
mm-hmm,
at performing in small spaces because that's where he
mm,
came from. Like working as dancer and animator in clubs.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, so he understands the impact of music on these guys. That's why his songs easily relate to people when they listen to it. It easily connects
mm-hmm,
because he has the link to the marketing part of it.
mm.
Yeah, so these guys, that's why you say, why can't they make the same for themselves? And even some producers that decide to sing, sometimes they make beats and keep like what they believe are the best beats for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they record those songs and that beat is wasted and the whole thing is wasted because the song, the
Yeah.
marketing is not there. The team to market it will not be there.
Eh,
They
yeah,
waste it.
I think it's the marketing because
Yeah,
like
the
listening
marketing.
to Rhythm's Market, that's a song I can listen to over and over again because it's a good song.
Yeah.
I love that song, but I don't know why it's not a hit and it's not played
Is
all
their
over.
marketing and their access to the yeah, it's their marketing and their access to the gatekeepers because I believe Cameroon music industry still has gatekeepers.
The access to the gatekeepers,
Yeah,
like okay, who do you think are the gatekeepers in the Cameroon music industry?
they are gatekeepers in the Cameroon music industry, but I don't believe
Who are the
rhythms.
gatekeepers?
Yeah,
You don't want to mention
gatekeepers in the
because
industry.
I feel like rhythms they are really connected. Like they
They are
produce this for
connected to the
all these
artists, but not
A-list
their
artists. Yeah.
yeah A-list artists. Yeah, but how many of those A-list artists sometimes even share their songs?
Like when they produce market, Salatel even did something like a cover of it and put on his Facebook page. Like everybody was sharing that song. Everybody was sharing it. So I
Mm,
don't know.
mm, okay, but
Well, it's the truth, yeah.
yeah, but I just know rhythms don't have. Okay, in a nutshell, rhythm songs are too mature for the average Cameroon consumer. Like the average person, the gatekeeper don't relate to rhythm songs.
A gatekeeper. Anyway,
Yeah, the
okay.
gatekeeper has um, has a shallow understanding of music. So the kind of music
Mm,
they find interesting and what can work is the songs like rhythm songs go over their head. Like it's way above
mm-hmm.
what they believe is interesting to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we'll leave it coded in coded language.
No, if you get okay, G Greg. She gets at time the producer lack the vocals. Yeah, sometimes the producers lack the vocals.
Mm.
I'm hungry. That's why I'm fucking on my words. That's what always happens when I'm hungry. So I think I
Oh,
need to get something to eat. Okay. So
okay.
sometimes the producers lack the vocals through that, and even a good brand through that, it also goes to the marketing. Hey, hell, that's what we are talking about here. That's why that's why we always hear about ghostwriters. Some producers can write. Okay, some of them can write.
Yeah,
Most of them
I
even
feel like
assist
some
in writing
producers,
hooks.
yeah, some producers are just better off being behind the scenes, just doing the
Yes, some
ghostwriting, the
the
beat
production,
production,
the
and yeah.
mastering, and the making of the products to come to
Mm.
life, and the rest. Yeah, some.
Because so far, the producer who I've really seen in Cameroon break through and become like A-list at in front of the camera is Salatel.
And
That's the
No, Jovi did it first.
Oh yeah, Jovi, yeah, Jovi. Sorry, Jovi, yeah. So
Yeah.
Jovi and Salatia, those are the two that I've really seen. Like these are producers, and they have been able to also do in front of the camera very well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Jovi, because when Jovi started, you had Jovi, DJ Chooks. DJ Chooks too was a rapper who
Mm.
produced, like he took part in the production of Don Quad in at
Mm-hmm.
STM studio. That's Estimona studio in Yaoundé. Estimona
Mm.
Foundation. They have a studio, STM studio there. I've been to
Mm.
that place once. It's kind of fancy and bougie. Like at the foundation, they have the studio inside behind. Like that's where some of these in those days, like this Bendeka, they used to record at.
Mm.
Like yeah, at that studio. So you had DJ Chooks. You had which producer again was? You had Ada Kenji.
Mm.
Yeah, but Ada had a hit
Really when?
in 2012 around. I think when Don Fukwa came out a year after that, Ada had a hit.
What was the song?
Nyango.
Okay. Let me Google Nyango. I've never heard it before, but let me
Damn.
Google it.
Nyango, 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 Nyango. Now you my heart a beat for.
Mm.
You've never heard that
Okay,
song?
I've seen it. 40K view,
No, back then
42,000
42K
views.
views. Back then the song was booming everywhere. Taxis, you hear it. Radio, you hear it.
Mm.
TV, you hear it. Even Jovi songs, it even took a long time for Don't For Quiet. I think even up to now, Don't For Quiet haven't even attained 500K views.
But don't forget that one was a confirmed hit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In those days, Cameroonians did not stream. Even Epe. Epe became a hit when the song had, I think, just 150K views, something like that.
Mm.
So the views that you see on those songs right now, if you check the date when they were released, can't even blame it, because back then it's TV and radio that
Yeah.
made songs hit. TV, radio, and these guys that transfer songs behind the roadside. Those were the guys that make songs hit. So even Banye Choco, that song was known all over Cameroon, but on YouTube, I think the song had 40 something K. The first
Mm.
video was shot by Adrenaline when Adrenaline was still learning how to direct videos, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they ended up taking it down. Then he finally did it, another one. I think that was the last year, and released it. So I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
he deleted the official video before doing another video. I don't know, but yeah, that happened. So Ada had a hit too, and Ada
Mm.
is a video director and he's a producer. After that,
Okay.
he tried again with music, and he has a great voice too, but it
Mm.
kept it did not connect. His songs couldn't connect. So
Mm.
yeah, he just became Ada Akenji, the video director.
Yeah, I know him as a video director.
Yeah. So
Anyway, at least he's successful in one thing. Some don't even get to be successful in any. So.
yeah. Okay. So I think that's all we have to say for today. That's all we have
Mm-hmm.
for today. Okay. At least that movie section, that group, Ministry of Culture or the government and the
Mm.
movie thing, yeah, that was an interesting point of view on that
Mm-hmm.
thing. Yeah, you
Mm.
know, and even make me, as we were talking, I was also thinking about it. Like, hmm, what? And
Mm.
even what do you think about what they said? So thank you guys for watching. I even forgot to drop the WhatsApp group link. Oh my god, even forgot to drop it. So guys, subscribe. Go and subscribe to Chakara TV, because that's where we'll be on Monday. Okay, that's where we'll be on
Mm-hmm.
Monday. Subscribe to Chakara TV and share. Okay, share this episode, and thank you guys for watching. Saita, do you have anything to say before we close?
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. And in case you have not joined the group, I think the link is also in the description below,
Yeah,
right?
the link is in the description below. Go down there, click the link,
Okay.
and you.
Yeah. So you could be behind the scenes, behind the scenes conversation.
Yeah,
Mostly we discuss about the things we discuss about in the group. That's what we use as a topic.
yeah,
Yeah. So if you want to suggest a topic or you want to be part of the decision making process of this podcast,
yeah.
join the group.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's all we have to say for today. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yep, we are flying.